What's good, guys? It's ICS. Here of course, we're talking about March Madness. First two rounds already happened this weekend. Then on Thursday, we got the Sweet 16 and the Elite Eight. And talk about my predictions and also talk about some of the games that already happened. So right here, we got Auburn and Michigan. So I definitely feel like Auburn has looked pretty good. I feel like the Auburn-Creighton game was pretty tight for a little bit, but Auburn just had a shooting pretty dominant shooting the ball. Creighton couldn't hang. There was also some people didn't score in the second half. Definitely didn't help their case. But Michigan, I felt like Texas A&M kind of had the upper hand for like, I think people said 9 minutes left in the game. For Texas A&M basically had the upper hand, and then Michigan just flipped the script in the last part of the game, and it's like they just had an urgency, a desperate, and they're playing so smooth basketball. When Michigan does not turn the ball over, they're reckoned to be. If Michigan does not turn the ball over, I feel like they can beat any team in the country. Now, Auburn versus Michigan. I feel like if Auburn is going to beat Michigan, they need to put them away. It's going to have to be 8 to 12 points at least. Now, if they don't put them away, I feel like Michigan is the kind of team that can come back and beat you. They don't need 2 or 3 offensive rebounds to try to see if they can hit a shot, because they're going to hit one. I feel like that's the kind of team Michigan is, because even though, they struggle with UC San Diego, I feel like Michigan does show that they can hang with majority of teams. So, but I am taking Auburn. I think that Auburn is going to at least go to the Elite Eight. They're going to at least go to the Elite Eight, and then after that, we'll see who they face up with. I'm taking Ole Miss over Michigan State. Easily, I'm taking Ole Miss over Michigan State. Padula and Ole Miss have been absolutely on fire this tournament, and you're talking about beating a good North Carolina team. Now, I don't care if you're saying the record, because they have the potential to be good. And beating Iowa State. I'm sorry to Cyclone Larry, but you're going home. Ole Miss and Padula, I'm taking them over Michigan State. Listen, I like Akins and Carr and all the pieces that Michigan State have and what Izzo's cooking. I think Ole Miss is just a battle-tested team. They're just a legit team. And when, they could start slow, but when they're on, they're going to beat you. So I got Ole Miss winning this game. Florida and Maryland. I think that Florida, I already knew when I saw UConn versus Florida, this was going to be a close game. I don't want people to think that, Florida isn't dominant because, they're close with UConn. When UConn was going to play that team close. We all knew that. And it went down to the wire, but Florida was the better team. I definitely do like Florida going into this tournament. They have Clayton. They got so many weapons on this team. That big dude, the tall dude that they feed. And then look at Maryland. I like Maryland. I like Derek Queen, Miguel. Some of the other people that they got on the team that can score, I definitely like them. I just feel like they're a little bit inconsistent. They have to come from behind. And I'm not viewing it as this Colorado State game, because Colorado State is a good Group of 5 team. I'm not going to let the 12 seed fool me. They're a good team and they won their conference. But Maryland, I feel like they're dominant in certain stretches, but then in other stretches they're just not, right? Like they play Illinois, right? But they scored 90 points. But in Michigan, they're struggling. They have to come back and try to win. So I feel like there's just a different Maryland team. So I'm taking Florida for being a more consistent team. Texas Tech and Arkansas. I'm taking Texas Tech. Now, when talking about the Big 12, it's they rival the SEC as being the best conference in college basketball. And Texas Tech was like a 3 seed. They finished 3rd in the conference. Basically hanging with all the top seeds. I like the players from Texas Tech. I like their coach. And I think that Arkansas, I think, they played good enough to beat St. John's. St. John's really couldn't shoot the ball. Texas Tech can shoot the ball. They can take advantage of you. They're not going to have, it's not going to be a lot of 4-on-5 because, somebody's lagging around, not paying attention to their assignment. So I'm taking Texas Tech. I mean, they played better teams in the Big 12 than Arkansas. They're going to be battle tested, playing Houston, playing Arizona, playing Iowa State, playing Kansas, or all these other teams. They're going to be ready. Now, Tennessee versus Kentucky. Flip a coin. I kind of feel like this can go anywhere. I'm not sure what the season series ended up being, whether it was Kentucky winning or Tennessee winning. I don't really know. Both teams are very good. Very good. Zakai Ziegler, Owe, they're just players. And the dude, Lamont Butler, that's really what I think is making a difference at Kentucky, because the Kentucky defense is really good, and it starts with Lamont Butler. Lamont Butler, the transfer to San Diego State. The way they play defense at San Diego State needs to be studied, because the way they were able to switch, and rotate, and nobody miss a beat, it was unmatched. It was unmatched. I've never seen it like that. So the transfers coming from that team are just elite. They're just elite. And he's able to pick up a jump shot too. I didn't feel like he was shooting that much in San Diego. But you got Zakai Ziegler at Tennessee. I feel like this is going to go down to overtime. It's going to be a 2 to 3 point game, or maybe 5, right? With free throws and everything. But I will take Tennessee because I just don't feel like Tennessee. I feel like Tennessee is the better team. But if it's a lower scoring game, Tennessee's winning. Now, if you tell me the score is creeping up in the 80s and 90s, Kentucky's going to win this game. Houston and Purdue. Purdue hasn't really played anyone. They played High Point and McNeese. Houston's just a different animal. I'm sorry to tell you guys, they're a different animal. Houston is going to beat Purdue, and LJ Cryer is he's for real. He's for real. The whole team is for real. Number 13, Roberts, my goodness, he was killing Gonzaga. So Houston's just a dominant team. They're not a fluke. Houston is for real. They're the real deal. And one of these years, they're going to break through. It could be this year, but who knows? It depends who they face with. Alabama and BYU. I know confirmed right now, the over-under in this game it might approach 200. It might approach 200 if it goes into overtime, but yeah, I got 192. 192. Because both teams are going to score 92, 95 points. They just are. There's no defense to be had in this game. Both offenses are on fire. They've been going crazy all year. And BYU is the real deal. VCU, don't take them as a slouch, bro. VCU had 5 losses on the year. Very good team. Wisconsin was a good team too. And BYU beat them. And now I feel like Alabama needs to be, if Alabama wants to win this game, they're going to need to come out with a different series, and everyone has to come out with a different energy and just put the team away. Otherwise, it's going to be in trouble. It's going to be trouble. And last, Duke and Arizona. Duke and Arizona, I know that a lot of people are picking Duke, and I understand because, Duke has been a dominant team, but I only feel like the real team they played was Baylor, and I don't feel like Baylor was that good this year. I just don't. They were losing to Utah just like us. I didn't feel like Baylor was that good, right? But I have a sneaky feeling that Arizona might compete in this game. I think it comes down to Bradley. It comes down to Caleb Love. It comes down to Lewis. Those are your 3 players that matter on Arizona. If Arizona wants to win this game, those 3 players have to play defense and offense like it matters. And you know what? You know what you have to do to beat Duke? Because, this team done it in December, and we're not scared to play that team. What you got to do, right, is you got to come at them. You got to come at them. Duke is used to attacking people, right? But if you're going to beat Duke, you need to come at them. What do you think NC State did last year? They came at them. They wasn't scared. They wasn't shy. They wasn't shying away. They was coming at them and attacking them. And that's how you beat Duke. When it comes to the Elite Eight, Auburn, Ole Miss, I would take Auburn to go to the Final Four. And when it comes to Florida and Texas Tech, I would take Florida to go to the Final Four. When it comes to Houston and Tennessee, I would take Houston to go to the Final Four. And when it comes to Duke and Alabama, I would take Alabama to go to the Final Four. So my Final Four would be Alabama, Houston, Florida, and Auburn.